ahead, Marvin.
Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.
Hey, everyone, what's going on? Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself. I'm Charlie Perry, along with my co host, Marvin, Marvin David Speller. That's his government name, and I'm giving it to the government so they can check him out, because I don't know, he's just a mysterious brother, and but I'm glad I got him. I'm glad I got him. And on the bottom screen is the beautiful part of this podcast, and there's two twins down the bottom. Dr. Tiza Chocolade Bryant and Charmaine Vega, aka Mama Vega. And don't talk about her mama because we'll have to kick your butt. And this woman is amazing. They're both amazing. We love them, and they're on our podcast again. So today we're going to talk about longevity, and we have some experts here, that are definitely going to give you some information. And I call them experts because we are always doing things that we don't need to fact find. We already did that. Everything we give you is a 100%. And if you don't believe us, well, you can Google it. You can Bing it. You can do whatever you want. But I guarantee you're going to come back to us and say, "Man, they were right. They were right." And it all goes back to sometimes you got to lose yourself, and you got to lose yourself and listen up. Listen up to good folks, and we are good folks here. So I got a little video for the audience out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and um sorry, Substack. So we have a little video here. I want to show you guys and listen and some information about what the food industry is doing. Right. I'm gonna share it on this big old screen. There we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Need some volume.
Before you spend your money.
Do you realize that you are part of the largest technological and nutritional experiment in the history of mankind? Over the last 15 to 20 years, the way we live and eat has changed dramatically. Despite the many benefits technology offers, Our lifestyles and those of our children have become more inactive, complacent, and sedentary, while at the same time busier, more stressful, and significantly less healthy. Not only has technology changed our lives, but it has also changed our food and the way we eat. When was the last time you had a real home-cooked meal? And we aren't talking about throwing a box into the microwave. For most of us, that is a thing of the past, because we have moved to the fast food and convenience generation. In order to meet our insatiable need for convenience and their unquenchable thirst for profits, the food and beverage industries have overwhelmingly and happily met our demands by giving us refined, processed, and less expensive foods that are loaded with simple carbs, artificial colors, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners, with added preservatives and lower nutritional values. Consequently, as a whole, we are rarely eating natural, whole, healthy, real foods. This has become the new norm. Remember the outrage when it was discovered that big tobacco companies were intentionally creating addictive products?
Yes, surveys show more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Smoke Camels, the cigarette so many doctors enjoy.
Surprise! The food industry is doing the same thing. They are intentionally engineering foods that have addictive ingredients designed to increase our cravings and their bottom line. Foods are being created and grown using harmful toxins, chemicals, pesticides, hormones, and genetically modified organisms known as GMOs. In the US alone, GMOs are in as much as 80% of conventional processed food. Is there any wonder why we have seen a 50% increase in food allergies in children since the late 1990s? Do you ever wonder why we crave the foods that we do? In addition to the addictive, engineered ingredients, we are programmed to want. When is the last time you saw a commercial telling you to eat fruits and vegetables? Amazingly enough, for every dollar that is spent urging us to eat at least 5 fruits and vegetables a day, $1,100 is spent by the food and beverage industries enticing us to buy fast food meals, soft drinks, sugary breakfast cereals, and processed foods. And it's working. We aren't just eating these foods, but we are eating more of these foods. The National Institute of Health estimates that most food portions have doubled. Some have even tripled over the past 20 years. As a result, obesity has gone from 1 out of every 7 adults to a staggering 1 out of 3. Excess weight increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, and many other deadly diseases. The truth is, we are all lab rats in an endless experiment. We are jeopardizing our health by the food we eat, the water and beverages we drink, and by the environment we live in. The cold, hard reality is that we live in a toxic world. In addition to the food and lifestyle changes, it isn't abnormal for an individual to be exposed to 2.1 million toxins each and every day. In fact, the average person has 5 to 20 pounds of accumulated waste matter and toxins in their colon, while a person with a toxic colon can have 40 pounds or more. So what can we do? How can we reset our bodies, lose the excess weight, rid ourselves of dangerous toxins, and minimize free radical damage? How do we get that pure, energetic, healthy feeling and lifestyle back?
All right. Great video.
Great video.
They were cooking for me, you know that, right?
Sure.
Hey, we got Annette in the studio. You want to bring her up?
That's fine.
Okay. Annette, what's going on? Is the doctor Annette, right?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I want to make sure she earned that title, right?
Thank you. I'm in Chicago right now. I just flew in today. Going to a conference in the morning.
That's okay. All right.
All right, Marvin, you got the show, man. You are now you are the king of the show, bro.
Thank you for declaring me the king. I appreciate that.
Man.
I will tell you,
you're a black man, of course you're a king, man.
Being the king, we kind of set a targeted direction on everything we do, right? We're very intentional about what we do and how we do it, right? And I think about, Charlie, we've talked about this for weeks, even before Mama Vega and Tirsa came on. We talked about this for a long time. What do we do, brother? What do we do?
We try to, what do you mean, as far as informing people?
Why do we come on every week? What do we do? It's
Mm.
try to make it real simple for the whole listening audience. What do? We give back to others because that is the way to do it. And I don't know if you all knew this, but I used to teach theology, and whether it was from the Quran, whether it's from the Torah, or from the Bible.
I didn't know that. I'm
And
sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, I did a lot of deep research in that, and so I've always tried to put those terms and those definitions and those learnings into practical senses. And one of the things that I lean more on, especially what I've gone through and what we all have gone through, was that life is such a gift. And one of our highest callings is to love others, give generously, and leave the world better than what we found it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that's the epitome of what we've done. You know, we get people on here to share with them, share what we've gone through, and share things we can do to help. So I was telling someone this earlier, and I was telling my mom yesterday, I was like, listen, I know there are people who have taken their pain and done certain things with it. I chose to help myself and to help others. And one of the things I mainly wanted to do was to give back to others. And if there were things I can do to make a difference in this world, this is what this is all about. I wrote the book, and the book was about helping others, about sharing my love with them. But I had to come at it from a practical experience, like, hey, this is my hurt, but this is what I did with it. And I wanted to be real and raw as possible for anybody. And so I think about that's the stage I've been at in my life for some time, and it continues to progress. You know, when I think about, I'll give my story. I met Charmaine Tirsa about 6 weeks ago. And I probably would not have gotten on the Zoom call had it not been for Mama Vega.
Mm.
You know, there's somebody I've always respected, someone that's always been there. And we have done it for each other. We've always tried to show each other high level respect and care. So got on there, and it was, okay, we got on there. I met Tirsa on there, and she said what she had to say, and really sound stuff that they were saying. And so I was like, okay, I'm listening. I fell around that time, hurt my leg, hurt my side. And as we all know, my blood pressure shot up. And so I was really at the point, and I say to myself, you have to ask yourself sometimes, why do you meet certain people? Why do you run across certain things? Because it was meant to be that way. And this is what your calling was, or what you called out to this thing we call God or the universe or Allah,
Yes.
etc. And you'd be surprised. A lot of times we're answered for our prayers. And so for me, I was able to get the products, and I tell you what, it's made the major difference in my life. Major difference. I feel better. I think I look better. I think all that stuff, right? So, you know, I think about, when I go back, I think about a lot of things that people talk about is biohacking, right? You hear it all the time. I've done this, I've done this, I've done my this, I've done my this. And there are people who have spent the time into biohacking. And I do think there's a good portion of the population that's out here for the betterment of us all. And that could be us as well. I really do think that. I'm not a doom and gloom type of guy. Some people will call me an optimist. I don't know if I would call myself that, but I would say that we live in a world of possibilities, and sometimes those possibilities come true. some of the possibilities that people have stuck their heads up lately, past 20 some years. You probably heard this everywhere. It was called antioxidants. What does antioxidants mean? It means that these are things that can make a difference in your life. I also like to call them, well, you look at it from another perspective, is this thing called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, what it does to your body, it creates some really, really nasty stuff to our bodies. And listen, I've seen that. I've seen family members get cancer. I had probably my closest relative get multiple sclerosis with Lou Gehrig's disease on top of that. I've seen my aunt die of sarcoidosis of the heart. So we all have seen what oxidative stress could do to our bodies. We've also seen many people who've had high blood pressure, hypertension, heart attacks, strokes, all sorts of things, right? And then I think about what people say, well, we need to get more antioxidants, right? And I think about that didn't really register to me. Like, I've done a lot of different things throughout time, a lot of different things. I remember I told this story, Charlie, when I think we first went on. I remember when Kristen first got sick, I had this thought in my head, and it was high density nutrients. And I talked to my mom. She said, well, I had a grandmother who in Baltimore used to be down in Lexington Market selling herbs to try to help people out. I was like, that's pretty cool. And I was like, wow, high density. And so I found myself in the lab trying to help out, but didn't do enough. But, you fast forward to now, I was thinking about, okay, well, what does high density nutrients mean to me? And how can this make a difference in my life? Well, it has. I'm a living testimony of that. I am. I feel better. My numbers are better. Still under my doctor's care, but, and then, I dove a little bit more into it, and I hear this thing about, okay, you can get rid of oxidative stress by 30% in 30 days, 40%.
40%, yep.
That's pretty amazing. And I'm at that threshold now.
Mm.
And so I think about, well, that's the antioxidants they were talking about 40 years ago. You should have more in yourself. So I think about getting rid of oxidative stress and what that would do for us all. And I think about the longevity. There's no reason why there's so many chronic illnesses amongst people in their 50s and 60s, right? And so I think about this company I became a part of, LifeVantage, and what they've done, especially with their Pro Tandem, makes all the difference in, beating down this oxidative stress and turning your body on. Imagine how many of you all could go out here right now and just run 2 miles straight.
Not me.
I know.
I'm worried about 3 flights of stairs I got to climb every day.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you were able to turn things on your body, and you just started feeling better, and you built from there, where you made better choices of eating. You had better rest, and really you had something that helped you when you think about your health becoming top of mind, something that's there for you, a co-pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Imagine that you had this co-pilot because you made the decision in your life and say, you know what? I'm going to live the best version of myself. I made that call. I made it last year, but I made it even more now. And gosh darn it, it's made all the difference, right? And I think about something inside of me is turning on my good genes, right? It's making all the difference, right? I mean, I know where I was 6 weeks ago. I know where I am now. I'm glad that I was able to turn the switch on my body. So not going to go too much into the research and all that, but it's there. The research is there. The proof is there. You can get 1,000 people on this call. They can all tell you a brief story. Hey, this is what it did. This is what it did. This is what I did. Imagine that. Now you got to make some lifestyle changes too. You can't take something different and still be eating fried chicken. I guess maybe occasionally, right? But it's not something you can't do regularly. We talked about sometimes you got to lose yourself. Sometimes it's mentally, right? What do you change mentally? Because it's for you. When you think about, well, how do I become a better version of myself? Sometimes it starts with that one decision. And that one decision could be like, well, I'm going to think better. I'm going to take some activation. It could be, I could be around better people. I can think better. I can expect great things. I can understand at this point in my life that what I say is a spell. What I write is a spell. It's where they get the term spelling from. What's the short version of spelling? It's spell. It's a spell. What we say comes true. When we say these things and believe these things, they are so true. I think about one of the great thinkers, Les Brown. How many of you all have heard Les Brown? Okay. Les Brown is amazing. He talks about that. He talks about your words. And so that's, to me, when I think about longevity, was all the components, and the components of believing and feeling and just knowing. And I pulled out some cards that I have. Lessons I've learned this far. Now you're talking about the newer version of me that my mom tells me all the time, I am enough. And I believe that. And that all things are going to work out for me. That's what I learned so far. And I believe that every single day. I speak it at some point. You know, some people say speak it into existence. I definitely do. Here's another one. Thank 3 people you see today. Let me do a little bit more than that. I want to thank everybody I have on the podcast with me. You know, I can give you reasons. Charlie.
I want to thank you guys also.
Charlie, my amazing brother. You impact the world more than you know, more than you can ever imagine. I hope you receive that and continue to do something with that.
Thank you.
Charmaine, Mama Vega, just the most amazing person. I mean, how can you not be amazing with the name Mama Vega?
Yeah, that's man, that's like I don't know, it's like sunrise and sunset, right?
That's true.
Mama Vega. Right?
Mama Vega. Tirza, thank you for breathing life into so many people. After first blowing yourself back up, you took the gift of life, you took that breath, and you breathed that life into so many people. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, second that, man. Second that.
And then Annette, you have made the difference in so many people. Keep doing it. Don't ever forget that. You know, when I don't, you know, you can ask people all day, what's your purpose? And, you know, I see that in people and I always quote it. And so I would say, I wish people would know their purpose, continue to articulate that, just keep it going. So that is all I had for today.
Well, let me just add to that real quick. 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your outstanding book, and you took the time to write it, put it in existence, Um, During this week, a very dear friend of mine had read your book, took it to the beach, opened it, and read. He read the book, and believe you got a message from him because he said he sent you one, and he was crying, tears down his eyes.
Wow.
Since the passing of his mom, his mental state was questionable, and he definitely needed something. And so the book you gave me to give out and give people, I gave it to him, and immediately it affected him and put him on the right track. And there was one thing I asked him to do, and he said no, and he got that from your book because you said sometimes you got to tell people no.
Hmm.
He told me no.
Hmm.
But what I'm getting at is that this he was definitely on a forward roll downhill,
Right.
and being over 300 pounds, that's going rapidly fast when it comes to him.
Yep.
He's dealt with many people, saved many lives, mentored many people. But this loss and this grief that's hit him, um, by the irreplaceable person of his mom, and he got to your book and he took a lot of things out of it, and he's using the planner. He didn't have a plan. You
Wow.
gave him a plan with that book. So thank you. And you gave all of us praise. You praised every single one of us. And I'm pretty sure we all have many stories about you being the person you are. And thank you. So
Thank you, Charlie. I mean,
back at you, brother.
I don't know. It's you hear about some people, they go through something and they come out having this desire to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this thing is, man. And
True.
that's my fuel every day. If I can go ahead and put a smile on somebody's face, or there's something they read in that book that changes maybe what they're thinking or whatever. This is what this is about. And I think about that's why I talked about the scripture. I think about my grandparents growing up.
Mm-hmm.
They were such an example of just doing right by others. And like I said, to me, there's no ceiling, there's no limit. And I don't know, man. It's like if I could have helped somebody go through or maneuver through grief, I'm there for them because a lot of this stuff, man, I had to maneuver myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be the help that some would say, hey, when this happens, you're going to have all these people show up and all that. And I think back and I'm like, I didn't need them. I had myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was enough. And so I guess I will come and talk to the world and say, when it comes to grief, you will have something inside of you to tell you that you are enough. And whether you want to call as your ancestor, yourself, holy, whatever, you have something inside of you to let you know you're going to be okay and you are enough. Because I guess, and thank you, it was a great segue because into what we wanted to talk about today is longevity. Longevity, in a nutshell, is the belief that, you know what, you're going to get through whatever comes your way. And I think by this podcast and my book and all the things we're doing with Life Vantage, you can make a decision to be where you want to be in such a short time, and you just get there. And so, honestly, that's longevity. And I don't know. I came out of all I went through with just so much love in my heart for everybody. So, thank you, brother.
Thank you. And Dr. Tiza, thank you for that little.
Yeah, I love it. Longevity isn't just living longer, it's about living better for longer. It's having the energies in your 60s, the clarity in your 70s, and the independence in your 80s. That's what longevity is, right?
Yeah.
Aging isn't something that just stops. It isn't, it's something that can be influenced. A lot of people don't realize that because of biohacking and because of nutrigenomics, we can stop that. And I want to give you guys a quick story about a friend of mine, Harriet, right? When I talked to her about activation and about helping her body, she was a 60-year-old that was buffed and chiseled, and her body was ripped. She was ripped like she was a 28, 30-year-old in the gym.
Wow.
She was eating right, doing everything. And the minute I talked to her about activation, you know what her first thing was? I don't want to take anything to interrupt what I have built and what my body's doing. And I had to educate her. So when you're someone that is looking at this information for the first time, and you're hearing about biohacking, about activation, about longevity, you hear these things every single day. But you hear machines that say, hey, biohacking isn't just singular, it's multiples. You can go in a chamber and sit in red light therapy that can help your mitochondria, that can help oxidative stress, that can help you with your metabolism. They can help you with so many layers of your body, one element and one thing that you can change and one habit that you can change. So I was explaining to her and all the people that were doing sports with her that a person that is doing sports is breaking their body even more than somebody that's just sitting on the couch every day. A
Mm.
person that asks more of themselves or going through stress on a day-to-day level is going through more than somebody that's just sitting and enjoying life and eating themselves and just say whatever they want to do. So when I told her that actually a person that is exercising at her level is breaking her body down faster than a person that isn't, and explained it, then it was like, okay, maybe I should do it. And within less than 3 months, she had reached the pinnacle of something she had not reached in years of her life. And she says, I will never stop this. Now, some simple takeaway I want to give you with that. I remember because I called her and we talked the other day and we hadn't talked in a while. You know what's interesting about LifeVantage products? They activate your body and turn them back on to do what it's done before you got older and before you started aging. It goes back into reset mode. And when her body got resetted in the body that she's living in right now, so just imagine me. I'm living in a 50 plus body, right? Mama Vegas living in a 70 plus body.
Yeah, not 50. What's wrong? You're
Yeah,
right.
yes, I
I
am.
call it BS, BS.
I'm gonna be 51 and I'm so excited. And my husband's gonna be 69. And he just did his blood numbers, everything was in the green, and we just looked at our bodies. But from the inside, I can tell you, which is so nice, Charlie, I am 23 years old and my husband is 27, and Mama Vega is
Wow.
also in her 20s.
That's
It's
Wow.
awesome.
measurable, okay? So when people tell me, yeah, I call it, I'm like, listen up, buttercups. This is scientifically proven. And what I'm telling you is the truth. And this publicly traded company can be held liable for just spewing information. So if you're somebody that's a little bit
Mm.
skeptic and be like, I don't know, I don't understand, I'm like, okay, well, then you're the person that needs to go on PubMed.gov, the National Institute of Aging. You should read the American Heart Association study. You should read the Washington State University study, and 30 other studies have that been done, and we now have 30 peer-reviewed studies that say that it does what it does, and it's all natural. How many times have you been on supplementation that works a little bit, medication that works a little bit? You need to learn about
Hmm.
activation. I'm telling you, someone who cares about you will tell you about this, but you might need to hear about it now. Every person that I've worked with in the past 16 years of doing this, as a biochemist, as a nutritionist, as a culinary chef, I come across the most eclectic people in the world. I've lived in multiple countries, speak multiple languages, and I see all cultures have one thing in common. Everyone wants to be healthier and everybody would like to earn more money. It doesn't matter what language you speak. I can say money in my language is still money. Geld.
Hmm.
That's what you would say in Dutch. Money, geld. And when we say health, Gezondheid. That is the same thing. It just means different in a different language, but it's the same meaning. So when we talk about longevity, we're talking about making a decision to choose to live longer, healthier, and better. There's layers to health. There's supplementation, there's medication, and there's activation. When you do activation, somehow all of a sudden doctors say, your numbers were here, so we gave you medication here. Now your numbers are here, we're going to give you medication here. So I love helping people that come to the table. And when you're listening to this information, you're at the table. Now you need to come get the rest of the information. Because see, it's in the room where it happens is when we do the Zooms. At the table is where we have the discussion. But in the room where we discuss what you need to do, and I love what Marvin said, you're going to have some lifestyle changes. But do you know, you don't need to have major breakthrough lifestyle changes. We help you change 3 things. And the 3 things are all from the checkup from the neck up. You got to change that mindset. You got to change what you think you're hearing. And then you got to change what you put in your mouth. You do those 3 things, and I'll tell you, life will never be the same. Now, today I met 3 people, and every time I meet people, I also carry cards, Marvin. And I took these 3 cards. So I let people pick out their own cards, and they picked out turn your setbacks into comebacks, which I thought was cool. Dream big, start small, but most of all, please start.
Right.
And it said, it always seems impossible until it's done. See, it seems impossible that your health will get better, that you can gain control over your weight at the age of 40 and higher, that you can gain control over your hormonal system. It looks impossible until you start turning your body on and your body takes it away. Mama Vega, what are we doing? Are we turning on our bodies?
Absolutely. That's exactly what we're doing. And we're sharing it with everybody as well. So, and that's the important thing, is for people to know that you can do it at any age. You know, that's the important thing. But what I like is how both Marvin and you are talking about cards and looking at what the cards are saying. That's something that I started doing, is just every day I give out a positive card. I have these little envelopes and I hand wrote all these positive notes, and everyone I pass by, I just hand it to them. If I'm in the checkout counter and they look at it and they're like, oh, this is really, and it just on the outside, it says, who cares? And when they open it up, it has a positive comment. And I'm doing that because a part of longevity is also being happy, putting a smile on your face.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised at how many people, if they're down and out and you don't know what's going on in their head, but you can tell from their face that they might be facing something or something is bothering them. And just handing them a card just on the outside that says, who cares? And for them to open it up and have a positive comment, you know, and I don't say anything. I just hand them the card and I walk away. It's little miniature cards. It's like 2 by 3, but just the mere fact is that little thing that you hand out. And when you walk away, you can kind of see them smiling that somebody gave them something and somebody took the time to do that. Just that motion, if we would do more of that, and I don't mean sending somebody a text message saying happy birthday, you know, how are you today? You know, what does that really mean? You know, how about taking the time and mailing them a card? There's still cards out there. There's card companies. If you don't go buy a card, just go make one. You can make one. If you don't know how to make one, you do have an envelope and you can take one and just write a note, put it in an envelope and go mail it.
Right.
You'd be surprised how much people will appreciate just getting a note in the mail rather than getting a bill in the mail.
I agree. You know what? I'm going to ask you something.
Yes.
I'll ask everybody on the audience right now. This is the card I just picked up. It said, the things you love about yourself. Name 2 of them. Then Charlie, and then Tirsa, and then how about you?
Name 2 things. You said name 2 things that we like about ourselves.
Love about yourself.
That I love about myself. I love that I'm empathetic,
Okay, that's
where
really
I can listen to people and hear just from talking, I can hear their pain. And
okay.
not only do I hear it, but the second thing is that I can give them comfort in their pain just by my words.
Mm, okay. How about you, Charlie?
Oh,
Two things, brother.
oh. The first thing I try to do is listen, right,
Hmm.
and have an understanding.
Okay.
Whatever the conversation is, I just want to hear people kind of say what they have to. I love that I do that. Um, I haven't been doing it too much lately, um,
Okay.
and I need to do more of it. And the second thing is everything I do is with my heart. Try to always do it with my heart.
Yep.
Most of the things I do throughout the day, I think, is for someone else.
Right.
Um, Everything, including just going to work. I always think that it's for someone else, and it
Okay.
makes me go every day. You know,
Right.
so
Thank you.
include this podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good brother. Tears, how about you? Two things you love about yourself.
I love the fact that I'm passionate, and I love the fact that I'm purpose driven.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
That's always been my motto: live with passion, eat with purpose. When you're purpose driven, you tend to always help in the right direction to help somebody lead to their purpose. And when you live with passion, you always can empathize, you can engage, you can be happy for others, and you can guide people through their happy before they sometimes even see they need that happy. Because
Mm.
a lot of people don't even realize sometimes their potential until you got to almost like help them through their potential before they see their own potential. So mine is always passion and purpose. That's what I love about myself.
So true. How about you, Miss Annette?
My girlfriend that's over here, she said, he's gonna call on you next.
That's right. That's right. You're not gonna be up there without me calling you. I'm
That's
sorry.
it. We can see in the back of the room. I'm just letting you know.
I told you I'm in the hotel. Um, I guess because my profession for 40 something years is a nurse.
Okay.
Nice.
So I feel that I have a very good bedside manner.
Hmm.
Don't have to be regarding a patient, but I just have a good bedside manner, and I'm a very kind and straightforward person, and I'm a very sympathetic person, and I'm a listener,
Okay.
and I think that's because of the profession that I had. You had to be a listener, to your patients or your clients. So
Right.
Exactly.
And
Okay.
Marvin, what's yours?
Oh, I'm a part of this too.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Yes.
That's it. Practice what you preach, brother.
you
Let's
you
go.
started
Lead,
it,
lead by
Marvin.
example, bro. Lead by
There
Let's
you go.
example.
go.
Right,
Okay.
Charlie?
Okay. I
Yep.
was
He
saying,
started it.
Yes.
I get to enjoy. I get to enjoy the trajectory of people being better around me.
Mm.
I would say that's one thing I love about myself. And the second thing, I care.
Yeah.
I care more than people understand.
I love
True.
that. Caring and sharing, and you guys are sharing. So caring and sharing do go together.
That's what
I
we
think,
do.
I think it's a beautiful segue into because we care so much, we share. And I've learned how to not share too much
Mhm.
because as when you have a background in science
Uh-huh.
and you know so much, it's for me, it's learning how to share information in a fun way that people can understand and
Right.
also help guide them in a way that they move. Because a lot of people hear this great information, they see this great venture that they can go on, they see this great system. It doesn't look like something that's difficult. Most people have to do a whole lot of new stuff, like learn how to eat, learn portion control. It's too many things all at once. And then here comes us, and we tell you it's a 1-2 punch. It's this, and your body's gonna do the work. And people are like, "Is it really?" Yes, it really is. I'm
Mhm.
gonna give you the best example. I'm gonna leave you with this thought. A lot of people are talking about red light therapy at this moment, but you know that you can have the best machines, but if your body isn't ready to do what it needs to do, it won't pick up all the good stuff the machines can do.
Mm.
If you're not balancing out your body, if you're not telling your body get open to receive what I'm about to give you, you will not get the 100% benefit of what those things can do. There's a lot of amazing biohacking machines out there that can help you with your ultimate wellness and can make you the best version of yourself. But you got to start from within. So you got to start the cell. You got to clean the cell. You got to repair the cell. You got to rebuild the cell, and you got to restore the cell. So the three R's that I want to leave you with is rebuilding, repairing, and restoring. When you repair, rebuild, restore, your body starts to do what it naturally is designed to do to get you at the next level of health. So we want to definitely invite you guys to come on our Zooms and come from the table and join us in the room where it happens.
That's right.
That's it. I love that. I love that. Really. That's, yeah, just being ready. And it's, I like the way you've said this so many times. You feeling better is not out of reach. And we're not here to treat, diagnose, or you feeling better is everything. And I have experienced that in such a short time. And just overall, you know, there's parts of my body that's like, oh, wow, I haven't felt that way in a while. And so you just feel better. It's not something that's out of reach any longer. I was listening to my mom talking about my uncle. He was somebody who 30 years ago, he would ride a bike for 25 miles like it was nothing. And now he's walking with a cane and doesn't like it. So, you know, that adds more fuel to my fire because I'm like, as I get older, hell no. You know?
Yeah.
No, as I get older, hell no.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be able to enjoy life as the way I want to enjoy it. Not based on what someone says, well, this is what's going to happen to you as you get here and there. No, hell no. No, I said this when I made that decision to live. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna have the best health as I ever had. And right now, I'm like just about there. And I'm saying to myself, wow, that's pretty damn good. It feels good. I just feel better. And
But
Yeah,
you put it in perspective.
your blood pressure reading was magnificent. It was pretty cool, man.
I was
90,
really
90
happy to see it
thank you. 90 points in a month.
in less than a month. But
Yeah.
this
3 weeks. It's only
Oh.
been 3 weeks.
yeah,
Now
less than
that-
3 weeks. Yeah, I think it's now exactly 3 weeks because
Yes.
this is the beautiful part about what we do is we help people make a decision to get longevity, to get better, healthier lives, to have
Longevity.
bodies that do what they need to do. When you tell your body to jump, instead of it saying, can you spell it? Can you give me the origin of jump? It jumps for you.
Right.
And one thing that is so amazing is that just know you're not, if you're living, breathing, and your body is doing what it needs to do still, and it's still able to talk, you're still able to listen, you're still able to do things, your body can turn around because your body wants to be better. You know, when they say thoughts become things and words become things, if I tell you um, right now you're sitting in front of a table and it's a big plate of food in front of you and it's your favorite food, and I'm telling you, you can take a bite out of it. How does it taste? You can tell me how it smells. You can tell me how it tastes. You can tell me how it makes you feel because of what the words and what the intentions are behind it. So people needs to start learning, saying, man, I was not able to do this, but now I. If you just start saying that sentence, I wasn't able to lose the weight, but now I've already lost 30 pounds. And you haven't lost it yet, but you tell your body that every single day. And you say, and I feel great. I see that dress that I want to wear, or I see that walk that I want to do, or I see the 20,000 steps that I want to do. Do you know that not even months from now, that is a reality because you say it every day. See, I say that every day. I attract the people that want to be around me. I attract the people that want to be healthier, happier, and financially more stable. I attract this, I attract that. So just saying these things, those words will become your reality because
You are casting your own spells,
you just have to do it. You just have to do it.
and your words have a frequency and vibration. We've talked about that for many months now. Your words have a frequency and vibration, and um, I would say Annette understands this, being in the military. They have done extensive studies on vibrations and frequencies all the way back, and this stuff is this is just not some pseudoscience. It's like your words have direct meanings to it. Let's just go away from everything else, right? Imagine if you said certain words that have a certain frequency and then you understand that, right? Scientists have come forward with that, and your life just changes from that. I'm telling you from my own life. If you don't believe me, go read a book on it. You can Google that. What tones and frequencies have done? What have they discovered?
Just go to ChatGPT and ask it, and it will tell you. And it will even tell you what tuning fork and what MPHC you're supposed to use, what hertz you're supposed to use for healing, for everything. That's why when Buddhisms use those frequencies around the, and you get those sounds and you ring bells and you use tuning fork, you can get actually healthier. It's literally been proven. Just like biohacking and nutrigenomics is proven, the interaction between nutrients and natural compounds and how they affect gene expression inside of your body. And it's not the genes that we will, it's genetic markers that we have. Because I can hear Charlie already telling me, what genes? I wear blue jeans. And I'm like, no, I'm talking about the genetic markers inside of your body.
Not
That
Levi's.
yeah, not Levi's. I'm talking
Oh,
about the genetic markers that help your body. Because when I came from Europe, where we don't eat 90% of the stuff that's in food here in the US, and we eat grape sugars and actual sugars. And I was subject to the first time that I came here in 2007, I started eating fructose corn syrup and didn't even know it. My
Okay.
body composition changed. My whole entire health and life changed. And something that was dormant inside of my body got to the forefront. And I had a severe hypo turbo cancer.
Yeah.
So it is definitely in our foods, it's definitely in our air, it's in the toxic air. So come to one of our Zooms and believe me, you will be so happy that you did. And keep
And
telling people about it.
we'll post a Zoom link. But it's interesting. You just said that. I was thinking about we are so bombarded by oxidative stress, right? What that does to your body. And you talked about the food here versus the food in Europe. And you think about your thoughts, what you eat, what you do could automatically turn on something you don't want to have happen to you.
Hmm.
And so I think about that. And I really thought about that when you talked about the high fructose corn syrup, what that turns on in your body, right? We're trying to give you something that's going to turn on the good genes, but you have to be careful what you turn on unexpectedly.
Exactly.
And what people are not paying attention to is what they're eating when they're eating all the fast food. What's actually in the fast food. What are the chemicals they're using? What are the oils that they're using? If you look at just some of those things, they'll see what it's doing, but they don't even question that.
No, they don't.
That's my thing. They don't question it at all. And
Which they
we'll
should.
show them something.
They should take a fine tooth comb with that as well.
Exactly. Because they'll question us about, what we're talking about, that they have 30 peer reviews on and everything, but they won't, and they'll just nitpick at every little thing. But they'll quickly go to a drive up and they'll take whatever it is that they're giving them, and they have no idea what the ingredient. If you ask them what are the ingredients, they go, I don't know.
Yeah.
but we
Or they
can
give
give them
you or they give you 17 ingredients for something that's supposed to have two or three, like French
exactly.
fries that are supposed
Yeah,
to have three ingredients: oil, potato, and salt, and then it has 17 ingredients, and nobody questions that. But this has five plant ingredients, and everybody's like, "What?"
exactly. Exactly. That's it. And it's only five, just like you just said, Tirsa. There's only just five plant ingredients, and they will question the five plant ingredients that they have heard of. It's not even that they haven't heard of them. The only difference is that combined, they work synergistically in order to do what it's doing. And that's why it works so well, because combining it, it can do that. But when we talk about, why are you eating this burger? Or or why are you eating this other thing that they have at this other fast food place? I won't name them all, because
They
I don't
said
want to
tastes good.
I don't want to give hype them up, so I'm not going to even say who they are or what they are. But we know who I'm talking about, but you don't pay attention or look at the prices right now of what you pay for those fast foods, and you're paying more for the fast food than you are paying for real food, but you will still go get the fast food. And what that is death on a plate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're killing yourself.
I
So
remember a video that they compare, like when you go to the supermarket and there's a variety of cereals, but you can pinpoint four or five cereals on all those shelves that taste exactly the same, just a different name,
right.
right?
You
And
know what cereals are? They're serial killers.
yeah,
All of
yep,
them.
yeah,
Not
and
one is good. They're all
mhm,
serial killers. They were not designed the way they were designed. It's just was designed to just give you that because your enzymes break down in your body. The minute you take cereal as your first meal or as your second meal or whatever, you're killing the enzymes that break down food inside of your body. And now your body's not absorbing all the nutrients that it needs from anything else that you're eating that's good. So you start with serial killers, you have them, you need to take those boxes out of your house. Like that would be number one.
yeah. Um, I want to say hello to DJ Victoria. I see you down there. She's giving blessings to the whole panel,
Hey,
and
blessings to you as well.
she is definitely a star of her own. And I truly, truly, I hope she joins one of the Zooms because she has a platform that's pretty huge, and she definitely is a woman that could, a person. Let me just say that a person that um, can change a lot of lives. So, DJ Victoria, if you have a chance, join us on one of the Zooms, and you can definitely do amazing things for people around you in your community in the world just by listening to one of our Zoom calls.
I
So
love how you said that. And I want to say to DJ and Victoria, it starts with you first, too, because we always like to take care
Exactly.
of the people that
Thank you.
like to take care of others, because we always talk about the people taking care of their people, but we forget to take care of those people. So my goal always
Mhm.
goes out to taking care of DJ first, taking care of Victoria first. Everybody else will just be excited and will join anyways because they will see their result or we want to take care of them. That's why I love taking care of entrepreneurs and leaders because they're taking care of so many people and they totally forget
yep,
themselves.
yep,
Good.
that's absolute truth. All right. So
Marvin, one second, please. I just wanted to add to this. Dr. Tirza, can you add to that? We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago and someone said that they were healthy. Can you talk to the audience about someone saying that, hey, I'm a healthy person?
I love that people say I'm a healthy person. It's just the absence of disease. It doesn't mean you're healthy. It just means that something under the surface hasn't come to the surface yet. But we all have viruses inside of our bodies. We all have cancers inside of our body. We all have inflammation inside of our body. You just have to have one bad day with one bad moment, like Marvin had and falls, and his blood pressure is sky high, and now the doctor wants to put him on medication.
Hmm.
You just have to have one bad night and make one wrong move, and now you need to be at the chiropractor, and your back is stuck, and your cortisol levels spike up, and all your numbers are off because it's already happening under the surface. That's why we want to help people fix the cell because when it's happening under the surface, we can start to regulate that under the surface when it's happening in real time. So when you think you're healthy, I just want to tell you one thing to do. You think you're healthy, make sure you're not taking any supplementation or any medication. Still doesn't make you healthy, but don't take any of those. If you take some type of a medication, you're not healthy. Healthy doesn't mean I'm eating right, I'm exercising, I'm doing this. They need to change that word healthy.
Yep.
What it basically is my body is balanced or imbalanced. I don't use the word healthy. You either have a balanced body or an imbalanced body. You have a balanced moment or an imbalanced moment. When you have an imbalanced moment, you get what Marvin get a couple of weeks ago and life completely changed in an instant. Or you get what I get. I started eating things I didn't even know anything about. And in an instant, I went from the quote unquote most balanced person you know to the most imbalanced person you know. And now I have a disease process. So, yes,
Thank you.
we want everybody to be balanced and find their level of health. But the absence of disease doesn't mean you're healthy.
It's true.
Awesome.
So we'll post a Zoom link on our page for all those who want to learn more and get more information. You can talk more to us tomorrow at what time again?
6 o'clock for you guys, 8 o'clock for me. So 6 Pacific, 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
We will make a Zoom link and post it on our page for everybody.
Yeah.
And bring your friends. Friends don't let friends have oxidative stress.
Yeah.
That's right. Bring your friends, bring your relatives.
Yeah, bring everybody.
Bring your wife, bring your husband, bring your side chick, bring everybody. Just bring them. Let's go.
You can also bring your pet.
That's right. You
Yes,
know,
we have pet denim.
I noticed that man, you get a sticker, Mama Vega. You get a sticker. I'm the teacher today. You get a sticker. Awesome. That is great.
Thanks
Yeah,
for hanging with us. This is really important. What we do is important. What we do matters, and what we're experiencing influences lives. Because when people see our results, they're happy to get their results. We don't have to wait until we get the most massive results because the science says it works, and we just have to give people the information. And Dr. Annette, I am so happy that you're getting activated and you're traveling. I cannot wait to see where you're going to be in 2 months from now. Girl, we are going to have fun.
Well, you know what I was going to say to you. I only received it yesterday, and so I had an early morning flight, so I haven't started it yet. And I was going to say to you and Marvin to call me so I know, I didn't read the instructions or whatever yet.
It's okay. We can give it to you.
Yeah.
I'll be glad
We meet you where you're at. If you don't read it, at least we gave it to you. So, but you can always call us. Listen, the world is AI, and AI is great for tasks. But when it comes to connection, that's why we're winning, because we still are eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly. Just call us and we'll be right here for you.
Okay.
That's right.
That's it. Awesome. That's great.
Very good.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Have a safe journey.
I'm still waiting for my package. It's like it's on the Pony Express or something. Something's wrong.
You should
That
definitely.
is the most fun I'm having right now. Today, I brought a package for a customer, and they're like, I've never wanted a package this bad. And the minute I opened the box as we were doing an unboxing, immediately drank it, immediately took it and said, wow, this is really tasty. I'm like, I know, right? And we like things that are tasty, and I love the fact. And he's like, it's not even cold. I thought it was gonna be, some things are better cold. He's like, it was really
It's packaged real nice too.
It's great. It's great at room
and it's
temperature.
very stern because it's glass, and it's to keep the integrity of the formula intact. So I'm excited. I can't wait for you. Maybe it will be here on time, and then maybe next Wednesday. Don't take it in the morning, and maybe take it in the evening so everybody can see you taking yours.
Well, I was gonna give the company a suggestion and have a fried chicken flavor, but Marvin kind of blew that out the door.
Oh no, don't put me in there, bro.
Marvin has killed it, man. So I'm not even gonna suggest that. But all in all, I can't wait. Anticipating it like Christmas, and it's definitely gonna be.
I felt the
Um,
same way. I was
yeah,
waiting, and I was bugging Charmaine.
Marvin called me every single day, several times a day.
Where's
Where's my tracking? Where is it? It's not
yeah,
here. I need it. I mean, every day, several times a day, early in the morning, late at night.
right.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
like, it's right there in some type of a town. He's like, oh, that's close, but it's still not at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
I'm
true.
so happy for people. I mean, the luxury problem we have is that people, the 90% of people say, when is it here? But when you order it on a Monday, you get it right away. But if you order it on a Thursday, then weekend goes over it and it looks like it's
the
longer.
next week, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy. You know,
Well, I got my package real fast.
Yeah, right? He
well,
got his package within 3 days of my customer. And usually it takes about 5 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I was going on the West Coast, I'd be going to your house, go get a doggy bag so I can take some home. You know.
Mine took a week, brother. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully, you know, praying that comes in tomorrow, and then
you
I'll
will.
be on my wellness journey.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you, guys.
Zoom tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see everybody
Well,
tomorrow.
thank you.
See you on the
Please
Zoom
join
tomorrow.
in.
Guys.
Safe
Yeah.
journey.
Okay.
Bye, you guys.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye-bye.
Charles
Thank you,
gonna play.
Hmm?
Charles gonna play the music.
Yeah, I'm gonna play
Okay.
this song.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna play our favorite
I'm trying
song.
to turn this off. Of course, I never do it right. Okay.
All right, here we go. As we say in Portugal, boa noite.
Welcome to Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself, a podcast where we explore the complexities of love, loss, and self-discovery. Join Charlie Perry and Marvin Speller when life's unexpected twists and turns come our way. It's easy to lose ourselves in the process, but what if losing ourselves is exactly what we need to find our true selves? Join us as we dive into the depths of human experience, sharing stories, insights, and conversations that will challenge, inspire, and maybe even help you find your way again. Sometimes you have to lose yourself. Let's get started.